Hello students, I am going to explain a topic from 12th standard, that is molecular basis of inheritance, and from that very important point related to NEET, that is DNA replication. Okay, replication is a process in which DNA duplicates itself, means from one DNA molecule there is a formation of two daughter DNA molecules. And in every cell, before going through the cell division, each cell has to be it has to be grow, means it undergoes growth division, and collectively it is called interphase. As you know, interphase has three phases, that is G1, G2 and S phase, and from that S phase that replication occurs, means whatever the amount of DNA is there, it becomes double before going through the cell division. Now this type of replication is a semi-conservative replication. Okay, we will see why it is called semi-conservative replication afterward at the end of topic. So the model for semi-conservative replication was proposed by Watson and Crick, and experimentally it was proved by, or it was given by Mathew-Michelson and Franklin Stahl. Okay. Now you can see here one DNA molecule, and from this one DNA molecule there is a formation of two daughter DNA molecules. Okay. Now we will see the steps how DNA replication takes place. Now first step is activation of nucleotides. Okay. Now see, as you know, DNA is made up of nucleotides. There are four types of nucleotides, that is adenine nucleotide, guanine nucleotide, cytosine nucleotide and thymine nucleotide. Initially they are in inactive form, and as you know, this replication occurs in the nucleus of the cell. So all the nucleotides are in the nucleoplasm. Initially they are in inactive state, that is in the monophosphate. You can see here, that is DEAMP, that is D is for deoxyribose. That AMP means adenine monophosphate, guanine monophosphate, cytosine monophosphate and thymine monophosphate. Okay, and for activation there is a need of enzyme, phosphorylase and energy molecule, that is ATP. So with the help of enzyme, phosphorylase and ATP, these monophosphates are converted into triphosphate, means its active form, that is DATP, GTP, CTP and TTP. So these nucleotides are in active form, and all these nucleotides are needed for the formation of new daughter DNA molecules. Okay. Now next one, replication starts. The point where replication starts is called the point of origin. It is denoted by O, and the point where replication ends means terminate, and terminate is denoted by the T. So what happens in the eukaryotic and prokaryotic? The difference is in eukaryotics, the replication is done in segments. So it has a number of replicon. Okay, the segment of DNA from where replication starts and stop, that segment or that unit of replication is called replicon. In eukaryotes there are several replicons, but in prokaryotes only one replicon is there. So this is the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Now next one, at the point origin, that is O point, very important one enzyme, its name is enzyme endonuclease. It cuts DNA at a specific point, means it is helpful to break phosphodiester bond between nucleotides. So the enzyme is very important. You can see here, suppose this is the first DNA, mother DNA. Here replication starts, means any point endonuclease enzyme cuts DNA at a specific point, means it breaks phosphodiester bond. Okay. Now next one, you can see here, this one is the DNA, and from one mother DNA, two daughter DNA molecules are formed. Now next step is unwinding of DNA molecule. Unwinding means separation of two strands. Okay, here these two strands are separated by a very important enzyme, that is a DNA helicase enzyme that separates DNA strands by breaking hydrogen bond. It's very important to remember that the enzyme DNA helicase breaks hydrogen bonds and separate two DNA strands. Okay, so now each separated strand acts as a template strand. Remember this. Each separated strand acts as a template strand, and as it is separated, there is a chances to recoil itself, because as the nucleotides are present on each strand, again there is a chances of recoiling itself. So this recoiling of strand is prevented by SSBP, that is single strand DNA binding protein. Okay. Okay, you can see here, that is unzip means winded form of DNA. Here unwinding is done, that is two strands are separated by DNA helicase enzyme. It is very important, and these two strands are separated by breaking the hydrogen bond. Okay, now next one is next one. Okay, while replication occur, the strands of DNA appears like a Y-shaped, and this is also called replication fork, and the replication fork is Y-shaped. Okay, and after separation, some strain is there on the strands, and this strain is removed by or relieved by super helix relaxing enzyme. These two enzymes are very important, that is SSBP, that is single strand DNA binding protein, and this one super helix relaxing enzyme. These two enzymes are very helpful to maintain the separation of strand as it is. Okay, means they helps to prevent recoiling the strand itself. Okay, so the next point is synthesis of new strand. Okay, how new strand is synthesized from old strand. So the very important RNA molecule which is present in the nucleus, that is RNA primer. RNA primer is a small segment of RNA which is very important for the synthesis of new strand. This RNA primer binds at 3' end of template. As you know, template means separated strand of DNA. Okay, so RNA primer binds at 3' end of template, and its role is it attracts complementary nucleotides from the surrounding. Here, as you know, adenine is complementary with thymine by double bond, double hydrogen bond, and cytosine is paired with guanine by triple hydrogen bond. So, these complementary nucleotides are attracted by the RNA primer, and as the one by one nucleotides are attracted, new DNA strand is synthesized with the help of DNA polymerase enzyme. Very important, and point to remember that the DNA polymerase enzyme helps in the formation of a new DNA strand. Okay, and new DNA strand always form in 5' to 3' direction. It is always form in 5' to 3' direction. You can see here. Okay, now after the separation of two strands and the new strands are formed, here new strands you can see. Okay, so leading strand is continuous and lagging strand is discontinuous. We can see here these lagging strand is in fragments. You can see the fragments. These fragments are called Okazaki fragments. Okazaki fragments, and the name is given by the scientist who studied that. That is Okazaki. The scientist's name is Okazaki. Okay, so this is the we can say the difference between leading and lagging strand is leading strand is continuous and lagging strand is discontinuous. Leading strand moves towards the replication fork. This is the replication fork. It moves towards the replication fork, and lagging strand moves away from the replication fork. Okay, and the next difference is leading strand synthesize very fast and it slowly synthesize. Lagging strand synthesize slowly. This is the difference. And one more difference is that here only one RNA primer is needed, and here number of RNA primers are required for the formation of new lagging strand. Okay, now see here, leading means continuous strand, lagging is a discontinuous strand with fragments, and these fragments are called Okazaki fragments. These fragments are again joined by enzyme, that is a DNA ligase enzyme. Now, at the end of DNA replication, RNA primer is removed by DNA polymerase enzyme, DNA polymerase 1 enzyme. So, and at the end of replication, after the formation of 4 strands, again means from one DNA, 2 daughter DNA molecules are formed. Each separated strand again form helical forms with the help of enzyme DNA gyrase enzyme. Okay, so you can see here the diagram, that is, here is the replication 4. Now this one is the lagging strand and this one is the leading strand. Newly synthesized strand is always in 5' to 3' direction. You can see here this one, 5' to 3'. These are the fragments. These fragments are called Okazaki fragments. And these Okazaki fragments are again joined by DNA ligase enzyme. So, at the end of DNA replication, we can see there is a formation of 2 daughter DNA molecules from the mother DNA, and from the this DNA molecule, new DNA molecule, one strand is old strand and other strand is a new strand. So, it is called semi-conservative replication. Okay, again I repeat, why it is called semi-conservative replication? In a newly formed daughter DNA molecule, one strand is from parent DNA, that is mother DNA, and one strand is newly synthesized, means half of from parent and half is newly synthesized, 50% old strand and 50% new strand. So this is called semi-conservative replication. So this is the point related with replication. If you have any doubts, write in the comment box. Thank you.